everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here today. And honestly, I am just surprised that in like 3 or less than 3 weeks, to be accurate, classes the fall semester is like going to start, and time just goes by so quick. Like maybe not throughout the day, but if you look back on, where's the spider web going? Sorry, I got distracted by a spider web over there. And it's just surprising how fast time just goes in general. If you look back at it, like it felt like yesterday I was, well, in Florida. And I'm going back to Florida, so yeah. But something with the fall semester coming up, that means summer abroad, like study abroad trips registration is coming up very soon. And so that means I gotta think of a teacher that I would want a letter of recommendation, and then I also have to double check when the registration link is open, at least for the trip I want to be, because the fun thing about study abroad is that all the registrations are open on different days depending on which program you're going to. So that's interesting, because the first time I went study abroad, I wasn't aware of that, but luckily I found out about the registration open date before it happened. But when I did that first registration, I stayed up till midnight thinking, oh, it will be released at midnight. It was not released at midnight. Instead, it was released like 10 a.m. that morning, basically. And I thought it was going to be a quick, simple process. It is not. You have to write a paragraph about yourself, like why you want to go, what like you think you would experience when you would go there, or maybe something you will learn, and all that jazz. And like basically advertise yourself to be a part of the program. But luckily, because I did take aware of when it was open, I was one of the first people to register for that trip, which was amazing, because they, according to the teacher in charge of that study abroad trip to Greece, it was, that was the quickest that registration got filled up, and it was basically first come first serve process, which I think it is for all study abroad trips. But she was just shocked on how quick that registration, like the sign up, basically was, and she had to make a decision on if they were going to take more kids, because basically we filled up a coach bus at Greece, is basically how it happened, is determine how many people came, was how many seats did we have in a coach bus. That's basically how they determined, because everything else, it didn't quite matter how many people, because it was just like, you have one more extra person, okay, just pay an extra ticket, you know? So, but it all worked out, and I had met some amazing people on that trip, and so I'm gonna do study abroad again. And here's some advice I'll give you. If somebody tells you wait until like your junior year to go study abroad, but you want to do it like now, like your first year, go do it now. Don't listen to the other people, because something about study abroad trips, you may want to go to a certain location, but the classes they offer may not align with your major, but they may align with your liberal studies. So if one of the classes align with those requirements, well, better to wait to do that requirement when you go study abroad, so then it could actually count. Of course the credits will count, but it's nice when it counts, when the class also counts towards a requirement. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, because a lot of study abroad trips are for like your liberal study requirements to graduate. But that's also something you should talk to your advisor with, and to make sure. And then I would also suggest talking to the study abroad advisors as well. Some schools may have people. Anyone who works in that department can help you, and they can help you find who you need to talk to. Because I remember the first time I went to like the study abroad office, I got directed to so many directions to different people, but it was okay. It worked out. I was able to talk to who I need to, and yeah. But it's always good. Like, I know even if you want to do it in the summer, you got to look right as you, maybe like the second week you're back at school, the second week of classes, because some of those signups are like in September, October, November, or December. I remember for my Greece, it was either October or September of when the sign up was released, and by November you knew if you were going on the trip or not. So, because something else that at least my study abroad for Greece did, we had a few meetups before even going on the trip. Like in the spring semester, we met up a few times, one to generically go over what we're gonna do, and then the second one was to talk to people who previously went on the Greece trip and just see either what they did out during their free time to figure out, okay, maybe those are some beaches to go to, or this area of the city is pretty nice to even just like window shop or just see what's available to purchase and all that jazz. And yeah, or even like good restaurants to visit. That was a big help when talking to the previous students that went to Greece, was figuring out where to eat, especially for lunch, because lunch was the one meal that was not covered every day. Breakfast and dinner was for that trip. So that's another thing to look into, is what meals are covered for your study abroad trip. And yeah. What else did I have to say? Let me see. Oh. Hi, Snowball. How are you? Oh, bless you. Do you want to say hi? Oh, no? You want to run around? Okay. I was gonna grab Snowball, but he wants to just parole around the deck, the patio. Alright. If y'all have any questions, be sure to put in the comments below, and also be sure to subscribe and be sure to have your notifications on so you know when I go live and post videos. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out yesterday's video about my cruise experience in the Western Caribbean area, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye y'all.